Holy crap, I had to check my calendar to make sure it isn't Christmas because Fatshark just gave us solid gold for Darktide. No, I'm not talking about Secrets of the Machine God, although I do love the map. I'm actually talking about their new dev blog about how they're going to fix weapon crafting and blessings. Everything I'm about to cover, Fatshark has said is an introduction. It is still a work in progress and not finalized. But even still, I think there's a lot to be optimistic about and some really good information. So let's dive in. Obey my cat! Hit the subscribe button. For those of us who have been playing Darktide since launch, or long enough to want to upgrade a weapon, you know the pain of the current system. First, get a weapon you enjoy using with a base power level score as close to 380 as possible, with modifier statistics as close to 80% as possible, then apply your perks for your build to it, and now you begin the hard part of getting blessings you actually want on the weapon. To do that, the most straightforward way is to dump a lot of Ordo dockets at Brunt's Armory to buy the base grade tier weapons, then take those over to Hadron and spend a problematic amount of plasteel and diamantine to upgrade those weapons to purple or orange tier, and pray to the Omnissiah that at least one of those blessings that got applied is a blessing that you want to use on your item that actually has good stats. What a fun and rewarding system. Yeah, obviously not, but thankfully the new system Fatshark just gave us the first look at is going to remove the random luck for blessings and also make the process much more simple and rewarding. They're going to do this by introducing a mastery system for weapons. Say you're a brand new player to Darktide. Your new dirty little reject starts with bottom of the barrel tier weapons of any given type, such as las pistols, force swords, etc. As you hit different character level milestones, now instead of just unlocking new weapons or weapon marks, you're also going to be unlocking perks and blessings that can be applied to your items in crafting. So as you use a type of weapon in the game, you are actively working toward being able to create the maximum potential version of a weapon that fits your playstyle. Awesome! But what does that mean for players with level 30 characters? When this new system is implemented, the dev blog says that the blessing library of the weapon family will be converted into mastery progression. This means players will start the new systems with a head start in mastery, giving them the chance to unlock previously owned blessings, as well as the chance to unlock some blessings players never had before the update. Okay, cool. Couple questions though. First off, what's a weapon family? They haven't extrapolated out what all the weapon families will be, but from the example used in the blog and the screenshot we see here, it seems as if as long as the root title of the weapon is the same, they're going to be part of the same weapon family. What I mean by that is, for example, infantry lasguns will be a weapon family, recon lasguns will be their own family, and hellbore lasguns will be their own individual weapon family. Again, this doesn't seem to be fully explained or finalized from this dev blog, but based on the given examples and screenshots, it's what's indicated. So what does converting the blessing library of a weapon family into the mastery system mean? Again, the specifics haven't been verified, but based on the information and screenshots in the dev blog, it seems that the amount of blessings you have unlocked for a weapon family is going to be converted into an amount of XP for the mastery progression system of that family. Most likely, there will be a certain amount of XP assigned to every blessing that is unlockable for any given weapon family, and that XP value will likely increase the higher the blessing rank. Your total amount of blessings unlocked will be multiplied and converted into a total XP value, which will determine how far along you are in the mastery progression when the itemization patch is implemented. And before you get scared, note that Fatshark hasn't said that they're going to burn current items and convert those into mastery XP. In theory, and God help me if I'm wrong, because this would be a giant problem and a ridiculous thing to do, but in theory, we should be keeping all our current items and weapons. It's just the amount of blessings you currently have unlocked and available to use at the crafting counter with Hadron right now that will ultimately determine how far into the mastery progression system you are per weapon family once the new patch goes live. So if you're in a position like I am with my characters where I have weapons I like and I haven't done much with the crafting system because it just hasn't been worth the headache to try and min-max anything but a couple weapons that I made specifically for the Orthos Offensive Secret Hard mode, don't freak out. Yes, you are going to have to grind to rank up your mastery of a weapon family if you want to do crafting, but you shouldn't be losing the weapons you currently have that you like. And when you are ready to give crafting a go, you're going to be guaranteed to be able to apply the blessings you want to have on a weapon through the amount of time you spend playing the game, instead of gambling. Or if you're like me and haven't touched crafting, so you're sitting on stacks of currency and materials, you can always buy up and upgrade some weapons that you really like, burn them to unlock as many blessings as you can in all the different ranks, and increase the amount of mastery progression you'll be getting when the conversion happens. But be sure not to spend it all, because you're still going to need ortodockets, plasteel, and diamantine for increasing weapon stats and changing blessings and perks in the expertise system. Wait, expertise system? The f is that? Glad you asked. Mastery is where the amount you use a weapon of a given family while playing Darktide earns you XP toward complete mastery of said weapon family. As you progress, you'll unlock new weapon marks, weapon cosmetics, access to higher ranked perks and presumably blessings, and something called mastery points. Mastery points appear to be used to level up different perks and blessings, so you can improve the effectiveness of your weapons while you're still playing and working toward reaching maximum mastery. Presumably, when we reach full mastery of a weapon family, every blessing and perk will have been unlocked. When you've unlocked a perk or blessing, it's time to apply it to your weapon, and that's when you go to Hadron and use the expertise system. This is the screenshot of the expertise screen, and it took me a hot minute to decipher what was going on here, but I've run the numbers and I'm pretty sure I've got it. When you compare this screenshot to the base stats information on weapons that we currently have in the game, it looks like this expertise number on the weapon is something like the item rating, except instead of showing you the total current item rating, it's showing you the item's maximum potential score. Over here on the left, you can see this number of 500 again, but a scale showing you that currently the weapon's number rating is only 490 out of a maximum of 500. In the center, we have weapon characteristics, which are actually currently called modifiers. These are the values of all the different statistics of what your weapon does, and right now the highest possible percentage you can achieve is 80%, which also seems to be the case here on the devlog screenshot. This set of numbers at the bottom of the characteristics appears to be a value to help you understand how close to fully maximized your characteristics are for this weapon, scored out of a total of 100. Since we know this specific weapon is a total item rating of 490 out of the possible 500, if you take 490 and divide it by 500, you get 0.98 or 98% for a score of 98 out of 100. I'll admit, using a basically finished item isn't exactly the most helpful example Fatshark could have used to demonstrate this, so let's look at what this page would look like if this weapon was only halfway maxed out. In this scenario, our total weapon score is now 250 out of 500. The current characteristics of the weapon are all reduced by half, but the numbers on the right stay the same to show you the maximum percentage score each one will be once the weapon is fully enhanced. Our score at the bottom of the characteristics section is now a 50 out of 100, showing that it's only 50% to its fully actualized score. And since I'm here doing math anyway, I might as well let you know something interesting I noticed while looking over these numbers. Right now, these characteristic scores, or modifier scores as they're currently called in the game, if you add them all together, can only go up as high as 380. This is actually what determines your weapon's power level. Fact check me on this if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen a weapon in my inventory that when I add these up is any higher than 380, and that's because from what I know, that's the current power level cap for weapons in the game right now. When you add the numbers of this dueling sword up, it totals 384. So it might be because it's a dev weapon, or maybe possibly we might be in for a weapon power level cap increase. What's this section on the right side of the screen? Good question. It seems at the bottom right corner we're given another kind of scoring system that's specifically for our perks and blessings, because all these numbers next to the wrench and cogwheels total up to 77, but what exactly it's trying to tell us here, I'm really not sure about. I can't see any definable logic to these scores here, and I'm assuming that this is very much part of the whole work in progress nature of the introduction that they've given us. So now we wait for more information, and if you're so inclined, try to bulk up your blessing library a little bit between now and sometime after summer, because that's all we know for when to expect this rework. Personally, I think this sounds like an incredibly positive change for Darktide. It definitely adds some much needed consistency to rewarding playing and should make it much easier to be able to create weapons that are god tier in power, which is always fun. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go scour Clandestium Gloriana pixel by pixel and continue reading all of the item and cosmetic flavor texts because the rejects work is never done. A huge thank you as always to my supporters for helping make this video possible, Leah S over on Patreon, and YouTube channel members Rue on Top and Rosa.